What is going on, Merlin Empire here, guys, to give you a video. Today's topic of the movie is a movie called Red Rocket, which, if you might have heard what, this film is and all that, you might have very, uh, paid, curious thoughts and attention of why this movie is what it is. This is coming from a very acclaimed director, Sean Baker, has had a lot of movies. His recent film was The Florida Project, a nice little film of how realistic kind of like family goes through life and all that, and just the whole idea of just the passions and all, realizing how the parallels of from a broken home to having dreams for like you know having to go to like Disneyland and all that kind of stuff. And this movie is sort of a similar take now, another just this sort of adult actor who is down on his luck, tries to go back with his family and all, and settles and tries to settle, but it's as dysfunctional as dysfunctional can be. He has to go out for a job. Throughout this, he finds another person, has a great time with this person, has a great bonding experience and all that, and it's all about him kind of just trying to look out, trying to go back to kind of what he wants. He's trying to find his rhythm again in mojo. The certain situation though, like what people said with like Licorice Pizza, though, Red Rocket has another age gap thing. It's a little bit more significant, and with how Sean Baker does this movie, it's a little bit more intense too. And let's just say, I want to put it, if you didn't like how Licorice Pizza's dealt with certain kind of themes and topics and all that stuff and that, Red Rocket is really worse. It's really worse, okay? I want to get that out of the way. It is bad in that sense. It really is very awkward for a lot of people with the way also, this is even worse where he really wants Simon Rex, if you guys know from Scary Movie and all that fame. He's the front and center guy here, Red Rocket, trying to get this person. It's one thing, say like that they maybe fall for each other, and you know what, and it could be all charming and all, but he's trying to get her to probably go back to that adult film industry that he's going, and it shows that he'll do what he can, and he's a little bit very sort of manipulated and all that, and I don't think a lot of people would like that and all. The tension really, I don't think it's that kind of, let's say, not awkward and all. And this film kind of goes even the extreme lengths to kind of make that now. And I find a little bit of curiosity how the other movie didn't go too extreme with what they had in their hands, but kind of made it, I guess, sort of acceptable what went on and all. And I like that movie, okay? I'm going to say that. I like that movie still with what the heart of the film was. This movie goes extreme routes, shows Sean Baker, this is what he kind of proves that it's not okay with what the themes are. But these kind of people, but this one kind of shows it. So it really is kind of hard to think like which one is bad at all. But this one just really feels more the extremer. Yeah, this is the extreme route. I want to make it even more intense, than it is. Like this, it's like extreme doesn't justify it and all that. It just shows it. It tries to prove a point how all this is not okay. How he, Simon Rex, the main actor, how what kind of person he is and all that. You like what he is. You like that he carries the energy and all that. And I believe that and all. And I like seeing that. That kind of made it even. He carries the movie. He has to carry the movie for a bit. So and all that. So it's not maybe boring for the casual audience. From what Sean Baker, and if you're a kind of sort of movie buff or whatever, you'll like his work of how he uses kind of minimal shots, feel realistic, doesn't use very expensive kind of camera work, and just lets the locations, he lets the film do the talking. He has very nice lighting, nice framing and all that, and through all that visual piece, I like that he continues on this. He's really that good to kind of show you also maybe situations that people get into, but doesn't show you the conventional route. I have a great time with that. I like his work, and I think he works well with these actors, trying to get them what they need to do. Just this really is a lot of what you cared inside and all. I try to still enjoy it from still enjoying it of film aspect and all that, but this is really more intense. Really, of the two films that I mentioned and all. But if you kind of know what the lessons are, you might enjoy this movie saying like, yeah, that's why I like this movie, is what the lessons they were trying to prove. But the film itself, what it was, I don't know if I really could support it. So there is a lot of great lines. It's very funny how, like, when these two movies came out, Licorice and Rocket, when Licorice and Rocket came out at the time, it's funny how they kind of came out kind of close, and seeing how a lot of people give responses to it. Red Rocket still kind of has fun performances from the main girl and Simon Rex, or the ones we're supposed to follow the most. And you care and you believe, and it's fun how he gets into situations. They say this is one of the best comedies of the year. That's really a misinterpretation or whatever. It is a comedy, but it's not the comedy you expect. So there might be a lot of people also that don't know what they get themselves into. So I hope when people go into these movies, they realize what kind of sort of artur, to pick a word, they're going into for this kind of film. But that doesn't mean it justifies it because it's these kind of filmmakers, this gives a pass. You can still not even like it. But still also, if you want to be that person that kind of finds the whole narrative that you can to enjoy this movie, you could see that. These are times that really shows how much context and nuance is represented in these things, and how much is it acceptable, how much is it not, and all. I still liked the movie because I didn't think the movie was bad. It's just I know it has things shadowing it. I liked how there's still things here like extra of the characters. I think, why are we spending time with these people? And it kind of brings it back to the main actor, what gives him his narrative, his motive. So at that kind of it kind of makes justifiable when you come back. But a lot of this still, it's nice to know how there are people that want to do good intentions, but they still also kind of also fall back to kind of knowing what they know and what they want and all that. It's all about that kind of that desire and all that, and just seeing though how this is more also just driven by actress performances. And I thought the actress performances were all good, even though there's more there's not a lot of people you maybe want to you relate to. It's not a lot of people you really care for. It's more maybe less people than that, but still a lot of this is just kind of like how Sean Baker does and all that. He gets people that are maybe not actors. He gets people that he doesn't get very famous people. He just gets people that do the acting. He does a good job in that kind of thing, and he does well coaching and all that to kind of bring this all to life. So throughout all this, I get it. There's this cloud, like I keep saying, like I said for both movies. But as a film, I did have a good time enjoying it, appreciating it as a film. But this is out of the bat, I've seen people say that this is good and all that, and why didn't they talk about this? And I'm glad he talked about it. It's not about shying away. You gotta admit there's a bit of both, okay? It's a bit awkward and all that, what they chose for the kind of thematics. But I still like what, the director can do. Like, these directors do a good job shepherding what you need to craft in a film. Craft and all that. Crafting the style and everything, I like, and just shows how slimy things are and how things, can get better, but then also having people's decisions kind of just affect the whole thing. It's just a lot of what I thought in this movie was really, it's all about greed and all that, and that ego, just that kind of thing that kind of leans you on that what's not acceptable, what is acceptable. So at the end of the day, I know there's a lot that is really bad. There's things that are like, yeah, these are things that we can have a discussion debate. These are films that you can kind of probably have a one-on-one kind of thing and go at it. But right now, judging it as a movie review at the heart of what these, what this critique is and all that, I liked the director bringing in this whole heaviness, giving it his old style, and I like that he was able to let the actors be very realistic, and I like that the actors just felt like people you actually just met down the street. But I like that they are actors, and they did sell just how believable all these performances are. I had a good time with them in that sense. So all this in the comments below, guys, and as always, Roman Empire, laugh, smile, repeat.